Welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. It's your co-host Cicely.
And I'm your host Hayden.
And today, talking about Carrie. Came out in 1976. It's rated R. It's an hour and 38 minutes, and it got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. I don't know about that.
Yeah?
I really like this movie.
Yeah, I did too.
That was a good one. Have you ever seen Rosemary's Baby?
I think I have.
We need to add that fucker to the list. That's a good ass movie, is it not? I forgot it existed until right now.
If I remember it right,
That's
yeah.
a good movie. Anyway, Carrie White is a shy, friendless teenage girl who is sheltered by her... I did not read this before. Domineering?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard that word. Religious mother unleashes her telekinetic powers after being humiliated by her classmates at her senior prom. One thing about Aunt Sis, I don't fuck with bullies. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm allowed to bully a specific set of people close to me. That's it. Nobody gets to bully them. All right, and that same set of people gets to bully me back. But like real life bullies, no.
Yeah, but that's kind of the trade-off with that certain group of people, if you know them well enough, obviously. But yeah. So why don't you read the question, sis?
Kate Bosworth and Thomas Jane star in this 2016 supernatural film in which their son's nightmares become reality. It's called Before I Wake. That's the one I said I think was on Netflix for a while.
If you got it, good job.
I feel like a lot of people have seen that.
Probably.
Not me though, but maybe other people.
We will read the next question in a little bit, and we'll get into the movie. I did like the movie.
You liked it?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the rating,
Okay.
but we'll get
That's all right.
we'll get to that part later. The amount of like how immediate the movie showed you how she was being bullied, I kind of like that. It was like
This is it.
the very beginning was like this is why the ending is the way it is. Like,
This is exactly why.
these people are assholes.
And they deserve whatever they got coming to them.
Yeah. I thought the next scene was kind of unnecessary. It was the slow-mo nude shower scene. It was all in slow motion. It was just like panning through the shower.
Yeah.
Of the girls. I was like, that's kind of unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
What does that add to the movie?
Was the director a creep?
Maybe. I don't know. I forget who it was, but I didn't really find that too necessary to the story. Just, Can you just get on with it? And then I thought that the plug it up scene was kind of excessive. I mean, don't get me wrong, girls can be mean, but like that seemed like too mean.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
That was
And
different.
I don't think if I saw that in person, I would let anyone do that to anybody.
I thought it was a little excessive.
Yeah, that was really mean.
Those two scenes are kind of why I agree with the rating. Brings it down a little bit because it seemed unnecessary for the nude scene at the beginning, and then the plug it up scene was like extremely horrifying and
Sad.
like sad and just excessive. So
Yeah.
I thought that was what brought it down a little bit. But the principal was very insensitive.
Oh, yeah.
Like extremely. Like he apparently doesn't have a daughter or didn't have a sister or...
He doesn't understand what's going on.
No. He was like, isn't like 16 like a little old for you to get your period? I mean, you can get it any time you're a teenager.
Yeah, I don't think
Or
he
I think
knows
she was 15 in the movie. I don't remember,
what
but
the hell he's talking about.
it's still a fact, like, Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no.
It's she got it. That's the story.
Yep.
The end of it. Who cares?
Who cares?
And then like she didn't know about what this was. She saw blood. If she
And that's just like a scary time for a girl.
yeah,
anyway.
your first period, it's like you just see blood coming out of you and you're just like, "Oh, this is not right. This is not normal."
My first reaction was, shit.
But you knew about it.
I knew what it was.
She had no idea in any way, shape, or form what this was.
Well, then, yeah, that's fucking scary.
She was terrified. So you gotta cut her some slack, bud. And then there was a moment, I don't know if you saw it or not, but she had grabbed the coach's shorts at one point, and the blood was on her shorts. And the coach was standing kind of close to the principal, and he like noticed it, and he was like backing up, like disgusted by it.
Oh, come on.
It's
Pussy.
fucking, it's blood. Does it
Grow
really?
up.
Who cares?
Grow up.
That's why I said he clearly didn't have a sister or a daughter because, or, listen, how he couldn't have had kids at all. You're gonna see a lot of blood, cuts,
Period.
and shit. Like it's just
Done.
how can you be a dad
Also,
or a brother or something and
You're
not?
a man.
Yeah,
Act like it.
exactly. But there were a ton of hints already within the first, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe of the movie. A ton of hints to her powers. There was the time in the shower where she blew up the light bulb or whatever,
Yeah.
and she was like shutting doors or whatever.
So she
and-
kind of had like 11 from Stranger Things.
yeah, pretty much.
powers.
Yeah. She knocked the kid off his bike or whatever.
Do you think Stranger Things was like?
Took inspiration from
Yeah,
it? Probably. That's
We'll have to
possible.
look it up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Just I guess her Eleven's powers would have came from somewhere different. Carrie's mom is extremely strange from the first moment we meet her, and we meet her when she goes to that lady's house, Sue's mom or whatever,
Yeah.
and she's talking about like, what was it? She was like donating. She wanted donations for something.
I watched that part here.
Yeah,
What was that?
I don't
Were
remember.
we talking?
Yeah, we watched like half the movie. She was here
Yeah.
when I was watching the movie
I
for at
forget
least
that
half
part.
of it. But she was asking for donations or something, and she's like, "Oh, I'll give you $10." $10 in 1976 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then she was like so pissed off that she only gave $10. It's like,
Fuck you.
what the hell's wrong with you? And then we get to her home with Carrie. She is the most psycho and abusive woman almost ever.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That
She
was
scared me.
psychotic.
She scared me a little bit.
Yeah, she was like beating the crap out of her daughter because she has her period.
Yeah. Like girlfriend.
And she's saying about the first sin is intercourse or whatever. What the hell does that have to do with anything? She got her period.
Yeah.
You got it too.
You're a woman, right? Calm down.
Like, settle down. The next scene, well, yeah, I think it was the next scene where they're sitting in class and Tommy writes that poem and whatever. Even the teacher was picking on Carrie.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little unethical
That's
there.
rude.
I mean, if you have some kind of rapport with the students and you pick on them a little bit, that's different. But like, there's no way you had a rapport with the bullied child in school who doesn't speak. And then the one time she opens her mouth and says that a poem is beautiful, you ream her for it.
Yeah.
Like you're
That's-
just
you're
being
adding-
a dick.
yeah,
you're
you're
just being a
adding
dick
to it.
to be a dick.
You're
That
no
made
better
no
than the
sense.
kids.
Screw that teacher. I didn't actually really care when. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed the scene where all those girls were being punished for the shower.
With the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chris?
What's her name? Chris?
Where Chris
think
was,
so.
when she was like, I'm not going. Like, you were an asshole to her.
Yeah.
Like, this is your teacher.
You gotta
It's either
listen
that
to
or
her.
not go to the prom. Your pick. And I feel like they deserved it.
Yeah, they did. For sure.
And then Chris is in the car with John Travolta. I don't know, did they say his name at all through the movie?
No, but I didn't realize he was in that movie until
Until I watched
Yeah.
it, yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. Didn't know that.
But apparently, Chris can't be nice to anyone. Apparently, she's just mean to every single person she sees. And that makes absolutely zero sense, because how do you live your life like
Yeah.
that? Just being an asshole. Makes no sense to
Could
me.
be me.
But, I mean, that I guess, like, girls can be mean,
I guess.
but that's pretty... She's just an asshole completely. There was like a scene a little bit after that where Sue asked Tommy to ask Carrie to the dance, which I thought was kind of nice,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't really trust it at first. I thought that she was still mad at Carrie, kind of like Chris was, and I know she was friends with Chris, so I thought that, something was going to happen.
Yeah.
So Carrie, being like weary about him, I understand.
Yeah.
Like I was too watching it. I was like, is this real?
Don't know if I trust that.
Yeah. And then there was that moment in the coach's office. Well, before that, the coach was saying, "Oh, like, look at you in the mirror. You're beautiful. Look at your eyes, blonde hair, blah blah blah." And then she pulled Sue and Tommy into the office, and she's like, "What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
I know you're up to something." That's kind of the moment I was like, yeah, they're definitely up to something.
Yeah.
If the coach thinks it, they probably are.
Yeah.
If they're adding this scene, it's probably something.
For a reason, yeah.
And then she was like, no, I just owed it to her. And, like, she kind of seemed, like, sincere. Like, she didn't, like, seem like she was lying.
Yeah.
But when once again, they threw me off by asking Tommy, and he was like, I guess I just kind of went along with it. I was like, okay, this is
All
weird.
right.
I don't really, I don't trust this again. This doesn't make sense. What the hell's going on? I don't like it. But, yeah, then it's obvious that the neglect and hatred are making her power stronger. Like, the constant bullying and the abuse from her mom, and, like, all these things are just adding up to her powers being as strong as they were towards the end.
Yeah.
And it's very clear where her power is coming from, and it's because you're being a dick, pretty much. Also, it's around this time that they start to change it up for her, and I mean as in she starts to, like, come out of her shell a little bit. She's standing up to her mom in a tiny way. At this point, she didn't stand up to her quite yet,
Yeah.
but it's starting to build. And Tommy convinced her to go to the dance and all that other stuff. And she's starting to stand up to her mom. So this is a point that I really like seeing, that switch where she's just had enough of it. She realized that she has some sort of special power, and she's not going to take abuse from anybody anymore. The getting ready for prom scene was really funny.
Yeah.
I liked it. She was in trying the lipstick on.
Yeah, I
and,
thought
like,
it was
wiping
cute.
it off and putting new one on. And then when they were in getting tuxes, and he's like, I don't like ruffles.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get you one without ruffles. And then they go and just get a t-shirt
Yeah.
with the tux printed on it, but there were still ruffles
Yeah.
on it. And he's like, see, no ruffles. And he said it in a way as like he was like sarcastic
Yeah,
about it. He's like,
no
because there was still ruffles, it was just printed onto the shirt,
Yeah.
so it really wasn't ruffles. Plus, Tommy's suit was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I liked his. It was like baby blue.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was nice. The mom was trying to get her not to go, which is really weird, in my opinion.
I know. She was just super controlling and weird.
And
there was a lot wrong with the mom.
Absolutely. And like she's like, "Oh, please don't go." And like she's like scratching her face and pulling on her hair, and she's like, "Don't go or I'll keep hurting myself." And she's like, "Dude, shut up. I'm going. I don't care what you do. Just get out of my way."
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And it was really nice to see her really stand up to her mom. And she's like, "Stop it," and pushes her on the bed with her powers and is like, "Don't get up until I leave."
Yeah.
I was like, good for you. Go to that fucking dance.
Get there, girl.
Yeah.
Get it, girl.
And then the next scene, it was the very next scene, was when they show up to the prom.
Yeah.
Tommy actually seems very sincere at this point. It was at this moment that I was like, okay, he's not setting anything up, because he wouldn't be this nice if he was lying.
Yeah, I agree.
He was like, he waited in the car with her, and he was very happy to wait, and he was like, he was giving her advice like, you know, it's okay, we'll go, and I don't want to look like an idiot to dance by myself, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's joking around with her. He didn't make her feel like an outcast at the moment, and I really liked that. She needed that too. And the coach actually seemed to care about her. She was saying, "Oh, you look beautiful," blah blah blah, and talking to her and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I know I don't, but thank you." Like, this is nice that at least three, if you count Sue, because this was her whole idea, but 3 people in this entire movie are actually being nice to her.
Yeah.
She needed that.
She needed somebody.
It's just that people pushed her over the edge by the end. The Carrie and Tommy kiss was really nice.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of confused, like, were Tommy and Sue together, or like, were they just like, you know, friends with benefits, or what were they that Tommy kissed Carrie?
Maybe he was also just trying to
make her give her.
She wasn't ugly.
No,
I thought she was
but
cute.
like maybe he was just trying to give her the full experience of prom.
Yeah.
You know,
she's a cute girl. She had
you
nice
dance
hair.
Together. You know, you have a nice time. You kiss. That's just what happens at prom. So that was probably just, you know, him trying to give her the full experience, no matter what that meant. And then Tommy and Carrie win, even though at this point we knew what the plan was whenever John Travolta's character, I don't know if they gave him a name, and Chris go and kill that pig and get the pig blood in a bucket. We knew that they were going to dump it on Carrie, so I wasn't happy that they won. Well, they set it up for her to win. I wasn't happy that they won, but I also was, because she also needed that moment. It just got ruined, like, seconds later. Sue tries to stop the bucket and gets kicked out. Sue trying to stop the bucket was a very sincere and, like, brave thing to do, because it probably would have been easier for her just to hide and not do anything. But it also saved her. Like, that's how she survived, because she got kicked out for trying to help her.
Exactly.
I mean, if she would have stopped her, none of that would have happened. But, like, she could have easily just not done anything. Just saw the bucket and was like, well, fuck, I can't do anything up there. So it was really nice to see that. And it kind of sucks that she got kicked out, because she couldn't help Carrie.
Yeah.
But it was also nice that she's the one that survived, because she was the one that was truly nice to her the whole movie. Well, except for the shower, I guess. But other than that. And then there's the famous scene that almost everyone knows, even if you haven't seen it, like me.
Yeah, everyone knows that scene.
Where the blood drops on her, and she's just covered head to toe in blood, and she just goes crazy.
Yep.
Pissed off.
Would.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Valid. Her feelings were valid.
Yeah, it was valid. But she's just pissed off and like, just wreaking havoc.
How did that make you feel watching it?
Awful.
It made me sad.
Yeah, like I felt so bad for her.
And then as soon as she started fucking shit up, I said, "Go ahead."
Yeah, do it. You
Do
deserve
it.
it. There were some people in there that didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Coach, Tommy, thankfully Sue got out. The teacher that was picking on her earlier was in there. He's the one that got electrocuted,
Oh, okay.
and I did not care. I was like, yeah, whatever, you were mean. But I felt bad for the coach.
Yeah,
She
me
got
too.
crushed by that thing, and she was nice to her. And then Tommy was nice the whole time, and he clearly wasn't in on it because he stood way too close to her. He wouldn't have stood that close if he knew,
No.
because he rented that tux. Number one, number two, who wants to get covered in pig blood
Nobody.
for a prank on someone else? You know, so he definitely wasn't in on it. So I feel bad for those two. Everyone else laughed. And what was with that girl wearing her ball cap and her dress?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I noticed that too.
She just wore her hat the whole movie.
I was like, okay,
What?
take it off.
Carrie is pushed over the edge. We
For
just
sure.
talked about that scene. She just whole hog straight up to level 100 on that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But she leaves. She burns the place down, walks out, and starts walking down the road. And Chris still hasn't let it go, and she tries to run her over. And she gets her revenge. She blows up the car with Chris and John Travolta in it. And she gets the revenge on the one person in that whole school who has never been nice to her a single day. Oh well. I don't care the least bit about Chris's character
Yeah,
dying.
me either.
Whatever. That's
Whatever.
fine. Then she comes home to a trashed house and just candles everywhere. It's very ominous. You have no idea what's going to happen next. Obviously, the mom was going crazy for some reason,
Yeah.
but you just have no idea. Like, it was very suspenseful, wondering what was going to happen. And then she takes a bath, gets all the pig blood off of her, and you saw her mom hiding behind the door, which was very creepy.
Yeah, very creepy.
Very creepy. And she comes out from behind the door, comes out of the bathroom, comes out from behind the door, and she starts talking about Carrie's dad, which I get why she's very protective of Carrie, but I think she went a little overboard with it. It's an awful situation no matter what happens or who it happens to, what have you. But there's also like a level, like you can't
Yeah.
be that crazy and like not let your children do things because
No,
you
that's
were
how you-
hurt yourself or
you
something.
fuck them up.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what happened to Carrie. Her mom tries to kill her, which was totally.
Ridiculous.
It just came out of nowhere. I mean, I could see her doing that, like that. I'm not surprised because of how crazy she was, but like, that just popped up out of nowhere. It's just like, oh yeah, she's gonna kill her. What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
But she defends herself. She kills her mom, even though she wasn't very happy about it. But like, she stabbed her like 5 times, 1 through each hand and 3 in the chest, and she dies. Which, good for you. You were about to die. You only had one option, really.
Yeah.
What else were you gonna do? But she gets her down, and she's upset, and she burns the house down on top of them. Which kind of sucks, because I wanted Carrie to live, I wanted her to, like, just
Maybe
get away from it all.
Try to have a normal life.
Exactly. But it kind of makes sense in a way, because she has her guilt. And, like, how far would a girl who has these powers, and after doing that to the school and shit, how far is she going to get in life?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how that would play out with the police, because she's the only one, besides Sue of course, but she wasn't in there, she's the only one to get out, and like they don't have evidence on her necessarily, they couldn't charge her with anything,
Yeah.
but like that would really wreck her life up
Oh yeah.
trying to explain to the cops like what happened, and like she has these powers and they're not going to believe her, and like
They
it'd
call
be-
her crazy.
exactly, and put her in a asylum or something.
Yeah.
But her mom did die like that little Jesus statue in the closet.
Yeah.
Arms up, head to the right with 3 arrows in his chest.
Uh-huh.
She had the 3 knives or whatever, and her hand, she was like crucified or whatever. So she kind of died in a religious way, which,
Good for her.
yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But Sue survives. She didn't get hurt,
Uh-huh.
but she was depressed and sleeping a lot, which is understandable after your entire senior class being killed.
Yeah.
And then she had a dream of Carrie where she was taking flowers to where the house burnt down. And Carrie grabbed her from the grave or whatever. Which is a pretty cliffhangery, suspenseful
Ending.
ending.
Yeah.
Ominous, kind of.
You're like, what the hell?
Like, there's always, it's like potential, like it could be like, hey, we could always make a second one and just say that she couldn't die or
Yeah.
something, but like, why would you do that? Because this movie was good.
It was really good.
I give it a 7.5, mainly because of those scenes I said that brought it down a little.
I'll give it like an 8.
But like, it seems like this is the type of movie to be good where it is.
Yeah.
Because every movie franchise that has like more than maybe a few movies kind of gets drawn out and exhausted after a while. I don't like all the Jason movies. They're like sporadic. I don't like all the Scream movies. I don't like all the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't like H2O.
I don't mind H2O.
I don't like Scream 3 or 4, I think. 2 was okay. I don't think I like 3 or 4, but those new 2, 5 and 6 are great. They're amazing. But like, it seems like Carrie would have potential of sequels and stuff,
Yeah.
but it also seems like this is a good place to end the movie. Don't ruin it.
Don't do it again.
Yeah, don't ruin
Don't fuck it up.
But you know, it's at that point where you kind of have to have original movies. They're remaking a lot of movies now,
They are.
like a ton.
Yeah.
There's not too many originals coming out. Don't get me wrong, some of them are good. The Haunted Mansion, that was awesome. I loved it, and it was a remake.
I loved the Haunted Mansion, yeah.
It was so good. But there's very few originals anymore, unfortunately. So, yeah, I gave it a 7.5. You gave it an 8. Let's read some fear facts here. When Sissy Spacek, I believe that's Carrie,
Okay.
was preparing for her character. Oh, yeah, it was. It was. She isolated herself from the rest of the ensemble. So she outcasted herself just to kind of get there. Decorated her dressing room with heavy religious iconography, whatever that means. Religious stuff.
Yeah.
And studied Gustave Dore's Illustrated Bible. She studied the body language of people being stoned for their sins, starting or ending every scene in one of those positions. As if they, she was being stoned or whatever. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That she, took the role seriously, I guess you could say.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was pretty cool.
You could tell she did.
In the last scene of the film, Amy Irving's outburst was so terrified, her real-life mother, Priscilla Pointer, that she screamed out Amy instead of Sue. She had never seen her daughter that hysterical and called out her real name in concern. However, the loud ending music covered the mistake.
Wow.
That's some pretty good acting.
That's awesome.
Sue was actually a good
Yeah.
They were all pretty good.
They were all pretty good, I thought. Yeah.
Tommy was like 80%.
Yeah.
John Travolta was like 90. He hasn't, confirmed his acting talent yet, but he did
Yeah.
a pretty good job. But Carrie was like full 100%. She was great. Sue was great. The coach was great. I really liked her. Even though like she was kind of mean to the mean girls, but still like the actors were pretty good in this one. But for her to be so hysterical that your mom calls out your real name.
That's good.
Yeah. Nancy Allen, which would be Chris, claims she never realized her character was going to be so evil until she saw the finished film. She thought she and John Travolta, they called him John Travolta because I guess he doesn't have a name, were playing such self-centered, bickering morons that they were there for comic relief. Piper Laurie also thought the character of Margaret White, the mom, was so over the top that the film had to be a comedy. That's kind of wild.
Wow.
They were like these. See, they even the actors even agreed that some of their characters were excessive.
Oh yeah.
Some were. While speaking at a book event in Fort Myers, Florida, in 2010, Stephen King recalled that he was paid just $2,500 for the movie rights to Carrie, which may seem like a pittance, but he has no regrets. I was fortunate to have that happen to my first book, King said.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was his first.
So for my last one, the name of the high school is Bates High, a reference to Norman Bates from Psycho, 1960. In addition, the 4-note violin theme from Psycho is used over and over in the film.
You mean not the Psycho with Vince Vaughn?
Not the Psycho with Vince Vaughn, which was almost a shot-for-shot remake.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But yeah, I actually really liked this movie.
Me too.
I did.
I liked.
Kind of a shame that it took me this long to watch it, because I know people have always talked about it, and they enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I hear about it a lot. I like the aesthetic.
Well, we should.
I'll watch it again.
Yeah, we should have guessed you would like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Should have knew that was coming.
I did. That could be a good comfort movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. Except for, the kind of unnecessary scenes towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Just drug out.
Once you get past that, it's all good.
Yeah, it's good. So, real quick, read the question for next week on the bottom.
What items is the killer famous for wearing in the 1976 film Alice, Sweet Alice?
All right, if you know that, put it on the Facebook. And,
put it on the Books of Face.
Yeah, that one. And we'll shout you out if you get it right.
Yeah.
So, our next movie is Five Nights at Freddy's. We're going to the cinema to watch it. And apparently, from what I heard, the animatronics in the movie were not CGI in any way.
Oh, God.
They were actual, the motions and stuff were, robotic, but when they had to walk, the people got in the suits and walked around as the animatronics. Lordy. Remember we used to play that game?
Yeah.
Really late at night, stupidly, all the time?
We're done.
But, yeah, so we will be doing that Friday. Yeah. Friday, the 27th, it comes out.
I think it's going to be good.
We're going to go to the theater. We're going to see it, come home, record it, put it out for you first day. Well, first day technically, because it's, I think Friday's the early
release?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Saturday will be the first official day of it, supposedly. So, yeah, make sure you join us for that so you can get the review of the new movie.
Hell yeah.
Matthew Lillard's in it, so I don't
nice.
I don't understand how it could be a bad movie.
I didn't know he's in it.
And Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah, from Bridge to Terabithia.
And Hunger Games.
Okay, more known probably for that, but...
Yeah, so he's in it too.
If you know, you know.
So I don't see how this movie could be bad, to be honest.
Me either.
But yeah, join us next week for that. And we'll just catch you next week. We don't have anything too much to say other than thank you for listening this long and stuff. So
thanks, guys.
Catch you.
Happy Halloween.
Catch you next week with Friday the 13th. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Catch you later.